This is for profit. The government and the corporations together, they find ways of humping your leg, the people's leg. That's about it. That's why government is a failure at all levels. The government is there to facilitate corporations, so that they can siphon and you can siphon and everybody can siphon stuff out of the coffer while you are catching and holding the large cock with knives attached to it. Okay? A large cock, satisfies. Yeah, that's like a cock, my friend. Pepsi and cock. Don't drink cock. Yeah, a large cock, satisfied. Some baby pickle, or some Louisiana hot sauce to shove up your ass, okay? That's what you're gonna get. So how can you find happy people when they have hot sauce shoved up their ass? No, they're gonna be raging, my friend. And it is really suicidal. I actually need to just shut up. This is what, truly, if I was like a selfish person, I would just go and meditate on Allah. Yeah, I would meditate on the divine, on God, on Jehovah, on Yahweh. It's not Joe as in Joe, Yahweh, yes. Meditate on the salvation of Jehovah. Okay, as in Isaiah 60, right? And in those days you shall say, draw from the well of salvation, okay? But alas, all those who are in popular vote, your well is run dry, my friend. There ain't no salvation for you. People are gonna come get you, okay? With the sickle and the pickle and the hammer and the guillotines. Now lastly, to make this a little much more positive, because it's been negative. There's nothing. This is very. Carney is right in some ways. He says this is very challenging time. It's the times of our life. It is the times of our life, because pretty soon food is going to be scarce. Okay. Yes, that's the future. Food is scarce. Polluted water, you have immigrants all over, you're taking a job, you don't have a fucking job, you're driven out of your house, you don't have food, you don't have dignity. People talk about dignity, you don't know what exactly is the meaning of fucking dignity, okay? You don't know the definition of dignity. Okay, Charles, define dignity for me. You don't know fuck about what the meaning of dignity. Nobody knows. Even the Superior Court of Justices, the judges are unable to find the dignity of a human being in the orders of a low degree. That's another reason why Charles is not going to be king, is because of failures of justice. We all rise in the name of King Charles, it's done, it's okay. Because we can't do this, pin the tail on the elephant, because the king is indisposed. We delegate it to some biased, blind person who's been prejudiced and biased solely by the retainer fee. That is not justice. We have a festering legal system. Back to reducing the last time, 10 minutes I'm giving you about reducing crime. I have thought about every kind of affliction on this planet, and I've made a legislation and vision that I will be including with this media. And that is the vision that I have for this planet. And I would suggest you follow it, or you borrow it, or you copy it. I know, that's why I put it out all there. Human beings are copycats. You have no original thought. You are like an ape. If Taylor Swift shows a boob, all of you are going to show your boob. Yeah, if Tom Cruise has a sex stage operation, then Robert De Niro says, I don't see what's the big deal about it. You want me to see me in drag? Okay, yeah, I'm trans too, okay? Yeah, I was always a woman. Rest, yeah. You never knew that, did you? The guy in Cape Fear is a woman? Is that what you're telling me? The guy who acts in Cape Fear is actually a woman. He identifies as female. You go look at the actor who's the male actor in Cape Fear, he's a female, okay? Okay, so where are we to reduce crime? Now, Carney is talking about the bail system. We got to reform the bail system. It's true in many ways. You can't get bail. Good people get stuck because they don't have $1,500. Your bail is set at $1,500, and you have $100 in your pocket. You are like, oh yeah, most Canadian people live paycheck to paycheck. Our prison systems are filled with people awaiting trial, awaiting a slowpoke legal system where the retainer is $7,000. Legal aid is pleaded or guilty, get it over with, and don't do it again. 100% you're going to don't do it again, and then you're going to say, oh, he's a perpetual offender, and it's, Why? Because you don't have a lawyer. Whereas you have a child molester, you have a child thing, but he has the money, okay? He has the money, he does the crime, he has legal access, so you can get bail anytime. You put him in jail, bang, next morning he's out over there flashing his Porsche car right in front of your fucking face, and you can't do fuck about it, okay? So I understand both sides of the equation of bail and crime thing, but making bail, just taking people and throwing them in a hole and forgetting about it without knowing who's right or wrong is not justice. It's not the solution. If you want to solve crime, you got to solve the reasons why people commit crime. Now, why would you want to steal a car? Why don't you go and steal some turds of shit, or why don't you go steal like a used senior's napkin? Why wouldn't you want to steal it? No, you don't want to steal some napkins. Why? But why do you want to steal like a Porsche or a Mercedes Benz or like a Rolex or like a phone or something like that? You gotta solve, once you solve that question, people are gonna stop stealing, okay? Until you don't solve that question, people are gonna keep on stealing. Forget about that. People are shoplifting food. People are shoplifting the no frills and supermarket and all those places. They can't. They say like you'll be like having like 100 charges every day if you're going to charge shoplifting. The shoplifting laws have failed. Yes, they failed because people are fucking hungry. What are you going to do now? You're going to starve? And the problem is, the poorer you are, the more hungry you get. The more delicious everything seems, the more you kind of develop this freaking unbelievable appetite. And all you have is nothing to eat. Or you got a sandwich, you can go to the shelter and get yourself like a ham sandwich. If you're a practicing Jew, you can get yourself a ham sandwich anytime. If you're a practicing Muslim, you can get yourself a vegetarian ham sandwich. And what else do we have? No water. Truly, Tim Hortons makes you pay 10 cents. You don't have 10 cents, you can't get water. No. You can't get water, okay? They make you pay 10 cents at least for your cup. I've been out in the winter, living on the streets in the winter. Canada is a land of lakes. You can't have a glass of water. Why? Everything's frozen. Okay, back to the ending of the legislation. So we need to fix this whole system by not... You can only fix crime by not fixing symptoms, okay? The depravity of society, the high crime rate is because you gotta fix some fundamental reasons for why people commit crime. About this dollar incentivizing, you want to fix the drug issue, take the money out of it. Really, you take the money out of anything, coke, meth, all those things, they ain't know nothing. Why would somebody, you think all those people who like send you fentanyl along, they are in it for what? Because they hate people? No, they want fucking money, that's about it. Okay, it's all business, right? Nothing personal. If I don't do it, somebody else will. So I might as well take up my right as a corporation and get into business of pimping fenties, right? You got $10, you got a dime? Yeah, dime bags, okay? The green stuff will get you so high, you die, my friend. Yeah. All those issues, you can only solve them when you solve the fundamental issues of the drug peddlers in the white lab coats that have been pimped by the Ministry of Health at the beginning. Okay? Again, the Ministry of Justice has failed to hold any of these pharmaceutical giants accountable. No, not even close. The S.C. Johnson, the guy who made the freaking fentanyl, caused the opioid crisis in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, all the Americans, they didn't pay the fine. They appealed. They went to the Oklahoma State and they appealed the fucking thing, okay? And they didn't pay one fucking dime. All they did was pay a hefty lawyer fee, which is again, if you have the money, you got justice, so you got, there's no such thing as justice, okay? You can fuck yourself. There's no such thing as justice. There's only, you can get your way in court if you have the money. That guy who killed the children of beer and an old man somewhere in Brampton, Markham, because he was texting and driving, he's out. Okay? This is the recipe of how to get you out or get you off. That's what the legal system has become, a recipe of how to circumnavigate the law. So when you increase bail conditions and you create bail problems with bail, what do? You're just incarcerating people who do not have access to money. You do not have, yes, that's about it. If you are charged with a crime today, if you don't have $5,000, very likely you are going to rot and fucking